Yo, good morning, Raptoria. Welcome back, everybody. Good to see you here. Little unusual stream, I'd say, because I didn't have this one scheduled. Had a little power issue this morning, and then YouTube was being weird. I had to download a completely different browser in order to stream today. So hopefully it works okay. It looks like it is. So welcome to all of you. Chrome was not working for me, and I couldn't log into YouTube services through their own browser. Interesting. But hey, we're here for a game that is completely free on Steam right now, or rather, there's new information about it, but there is a current game that's free on Steam known as Field of Glory. You may have seen it before on the channel. Field of Glory 2 is free on Steam right now. Field of Glory 2, you can just go ahead and hop on there and download it right now. If you want to just jump on Steam, you can type in Field of Glory. And boom, you can see it. Field of Glory 2 is free right now on Steam. I can't look at the price because it's in my library, but there's a bunch of games for this one, including Field of Glory 2 Medieval, which we took a look at, and Empires as well, and there's some other stuff coming for it. Tons of DLC for it. If you love yourself some turn-based medieval warfare, really just ancient history warfare, because it goes past that. There's plenty of that, so looking pretty cool, though. We're going to take a look at their stream that's live now for the next hour or so, and take a look at all the things that they're chatting about. We'll be about 30 minutes behind, but we'll catch up to them live, and then see what they're doing as their stream ends. We'll catch up there, and looks pretty cool though. So if you want to see more videos on Field of Glory and how to play or whatnot, there are little tutorial videos on the channel, and or just me playing, so definitely check it out. But yeah, so this one's out from 2017, free for the next few days, so you gotta act now. So just go to Steam, and it should say free or down, buy or get free or something like that, or install free, and you should be able to click on that. Looks like a few of my friends already play it, so that's good. So good for them. All right, so yeah, Field of Glory 2, download now, free on Steam. Can't beat free, chat. Can't beat free. All right, we're going to jump into their live stream that's currently, imagine that, live on Twitch, and then we're going to just follow along for the next little bit and see what they're up to. Now, remember, these are the same folks who are working on they're publishing the new Terminator game. They're also working on Broken Arrow. Slytherin has a ton of stuff coming out. They're making everything from old school turn-based, it looks like a game from 1995, to what I think is going to overtake games like Warno and whatnot. Broken Arrow, Modern Naval Warfare, the new Terminator game, and then of course, pretty much anything else that they make is at least worth looking at, including that Headquarters of World War II game. So
that you control, the amount of power.
So we're jumping back maybe about a half hour ago when they switched over. It's a Field of Glory Day, by the way. So they're doing a whole day of people getting together and hanging out. I think the first hour of the stream, they're in the same room. Everybody's got computers and stuff out, and they're doing some interesting stuff.
We did touch on Dynasty.
Let's take a look
earlier, and it is one of the new innovations in the game that hopefully returning players will.
Yeah, Panzer Corps 2. Yeah, that's true.
As I've said, you are not controlling a character.
Is there any diving in this game? I mean, your economy could take a dive, and then you could be abdicated via a sword.
Continuing dynasty and
or what did they call that? Regicide? A king being killed? If you want to.
To the people of your nation.
Yeah, but just to clarify, you're playing as the country, not as a dynasty, right?
Absolutely. The dynasty is, you're playing almost on a strategic layer above that.
For Raptoria, Raptor and Raptoria, yeah.
We have here Edward the Confessor.
Well, this is another one of those dynasty level games. If you like Crusader Kings, or any of the the medieval games where it's not just about building armies, but building, doing things behind the scenes, manipulation via the with the Pope and the church, and doing things like spying. That's what this is all about, or at least it has some of those aspects in it.
If you don't play your game well, but England's the Angevin Empire, whatever, is still going.
You immediately went on Steam and grabbed this game. Awesome. I mean, can't really beat free, I mean, even if it's one that you might play every once in a while.
Part of the game.
Yeah, of course, I would imagine that
may as well.
Dynasty being replaced in a civil war or a palace war or whatever.
Wonder what all those symbols next to their names mean.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Instability, it costs you authority, which we'll keep coming back to.
Maybe I should put a Steam link in the chat. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Is having authority, you can't get.
I'll pin the link for Field of Glory 2 at the top of the chat, so that way everybody can just go right straight to the store page.
We've got here the Dynasty screen, which is sort of nice and simple because Edward the Confessor is a devout, pious man. He has one wife, he has no courtesans, he has one child. That's all quite straightforward. Gender equality was not a big topic in medieval life, and I'm afraid that our game represents that quite accurately. So the role of
There you go.
wives is to produce heirs. Heirs will obviously help assure your succession, but heirs then as now are not always loyal to you.
Yeah,
Small
Alex
children
Pippett, it's at the top of the
obviously
chat now. It should be
loyal
pinned there in
to
a
you, but
big blue
as they
message
grow
in the
up
chat
and
too.
get corrupted
But
by the
otherwise,
ways
just
of
look
the
for
world,
Field of Glory
things
2 is
things
free
can
right
get
now.
worse. But you also saw below your young child there was a big pool of nobles. And these are very important people in
So
the
it's like
kingdom.
Crusader Kings? Yeah, a little bit.
I talked about
I'm sure
authority
there's a lot
earlier.
of differences, but
One
I guess we're seeing what
one
those
of the
differences
main
are now.
tests of your authority is expanding. As you expand your lands, your authority is more stretched. And one of the best ways of managing that, allowing yourself to grow and to evolve, which is very much at the core of a successful game, is ceding control, creating provinces within your kingdom, and appointing one of your nobles as a governor. That brings mainly good things, but not always.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the medieval era was an era of delegation in politics. There's no absolutism yet, so you really have to rule
Kingdom of
with the
England.
help of other aristocrats.
Absolutely. I mean, again, looking at England here, areas like Cornwall, Northumberland, even Lancaster,
Wessex.
would just be impossibly remote in those days. They cannot be effectively run from Winchester or from London.
So, in terms of these peers
What year is it
system,
in this
what
game?
can you tell us more about that?
So all of these peers who are part of your relatives and just part of a pool, they can be assigned to various provinces.
Anybody
They
see a
all
date
bring
anywhere?
various skills in administration.
Oh, there it is.
In
Turn 1,
diplomacy,
year
in military
1054.
matters.
Fair weather.
Administration would simply help with running costs. They can just make
Holy
things
Wessex,
cheap to
Batman.
build. They run the kingdom well.
Yeah, it's in the upper right
then as
corner.
now, running a kingdom is a constant drain on your resources. Military, I think, is fairly self-explanatory.
Military, brother.
We'll
Hell
come to
yeah.
armies later and how they, well, in fact, perfect timing. Here is one of our nobles here, who is. at
You
the
always
head of
play
an
as
army.
Ireland?
He
It
will
looks
have
like you'll be able to
military
do that.
skills. He may or may not be good. You don't have a huge pool of suitable candidates from which to draw. So sometimes you have to take painful decisions to put.
Fancy picking.
You can't really. No, you don't. You can't just keep
New free
re-rolling
game on your day
nobles.
off?
You
All
just
right,
have to
Catherine, enjoy.
pick some guy to go into battle for you. And then the other one was piety, which again is relatively self-explanatory. When we get to buildings later on, we'll see more specifically how they can be useful in those areas. But
Thanks for the
yes,
head up. Oh,
they
you're
bring
welcome, Ron
skills. They
Stoppable.
also
Enjoy.
have values as well.
Yeah, they're having a little event, I think, to celebrate the whole Field of Glory franchise, which has been around for a little while. But they're constantly making new DLCs and new games for it, which is cool.
They have a loyalty value, which
It is the type of game that you can kind of a la carte, where you can pick and choose the DLCs that you want of different, if there's a part of the history or world that you're not as interested in, you don't. It's not like you're missing out on anything for not getting it.
As they grow up into,
like I believe we covered some of the stuff related to Egypt, and so if you're really into Egyptian history, boom, that's a must-have for you. But if you're not as interested in it, then you can just go for the base game too.
Disloyal peers, for a start, you might not always know until it's too late. If you're not paying attention, first thing you might know about their disloyalty is when they rise up against you.
Oh.
But there are various things you can do. You can.
The peasants are rising up.
Sort of disloyal peers.
It always works.
It always works. Some things are eternal in history. You can put them on trial, which I'm sure will be
You can put them on trial.
Judicious process, or you can perhaps go for a rather more drastic option and send somebody to assassinate them. So there are various measures you can take, which obviously all have a cost in authority as well. So there's always a balance. You can't simply click your fingers and wish for difficult peers to be gone.
I would imagine that they can backfire as well. I mean, if you fail your assassination, maybe some bad things can happen.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. A failed assassination was a serious matter then, as it is today, certainly. So yes, you need to be very, very sure of what you believe.
If I built any other
That
balconies, what does
makes
that mean?
perfect sense. But let's move on to the next topic, which will be, what do you do as a ruler in Field Kingdoms during peacetime, and how do you build your economy?
Well, we've spent a long time talking about sort of nefarious things and dangerous things. It's a grand strategy game at its heart. It's not a game focused purely around combat, and a lot of the
Yeah, that's true.
day-to-day
That's what I told you guys
business
too.
of running your
Dynasties
country
and
is about
worrying about the
administering
economy,
it well,
spying.
about ensuring that your regions have the resources that they need, that you're trading well, both internally within what could be your many regions. I know we're focusing on England today, but Byzantia and the Rus, the Holy Roman Empire.
When do I get a
Huge,
Stargate?
huge area.
That's another thing Slytherin's working on, is another
It's
real-time
trading,
strategy game known
diplomacy
as
has been enhanced this
Time
time around.
Stargate Timekeepers, I think it is.
Yeah, it's making
But
sure
these
that
guys,
your
seriously, they have like 6
population
games
is
that
in
I'm
a
keeping an
position to
eye
grow,
on that I want to keep
giving it
playing,
stability,
or that I want to get a chance to
you
play.
need to build the
Have I played this
buildings you
already?
need in order to be
Field of
able
Glory
to,
2 I have, yeah.
enhance your economy
And Field of Glory
go to the
Medieval
next
I've played
level.
as well.
You're not sort of hacking and slashing your way.
And I
or
think there was
zero.
another one that I played, or at least a DLC for one of them.
Exactly, yes.
There was a new DLC called
All right, so let's talk about trade, maybe. So what
Eagle's Talon or something like that. It had to do with
So
Egyptian
trade is
history
one
and
of the
armies.
areas where we've really listened to player feedback.
Are we looking at
from
high
Empires,
quality here?
And one thing that didn't really make sense in Empires was you could, looking here at England, you could have a coal mine somewhere in Mercia, and it would serve the whole of the kingdom. It doesn't really make sense. So
it's not very realistic either.
it's not very realistic. So nowadays,
A huge builder game where you
if
build
have
balconies.
a coal mine producing coal, that will only serve one other
I'm not
building
sure.
that needs coal, for example. So we've simplified the system there. We should have made things much clearer in terms of
If you like
how
Hearts of Iron, but probably more like
missing,
Victoria
trade routes and
3 or
bonuses,
Victoria, this
can
has a
be
little
improved,
bit of that in it.
But that's never going to be a game breaker. It just shows how you can enhance your economy. So yeah, it's all very clear what you could be producing.
A forge
now,
like a
what the
Viking.
benefits of
I honestly
producing
don't
that
know.
would be. As I say, the game never falls over if you're, for example, if you were to build a military unit that was making armor, but you weren't producing any leather, then the building isn't going to sit there. You're going to import it from somewhere, and depending on how far away that somewhere is, it could be a dreadful drain on the kingdom's finances. So you need to stay very much on top of.
Oh, you can actually see the
because,
resources in
then
each
as now,
district.
doing anything
Looks to
with
be iron ore at the bottom there, near like the cliffs of Dover.
We do have some questions from the community, but first, let's finish this
Or are
video
those
and
cities,
we
some of
can
them
answer those
walled?
at
It's
the
kind of
end
hard to
this
tell.
video.
Sure.
Looks like they might
Since
be
you mentioned
walled
buildings,
cities.
What can you tell us about the buildings in the game? Can you provide
Oh
some
yeah,
examples?
protected harbors,
Perfect
small
timing. We're
harbors.
looking at the building screen now for London. We can see we have 6 categories of building.
Kingdom of Norway should be a thing in this, so full Viking achieved. It does have parts of Scandinavia. I see Denmark, Sweden, and a little bit of Norway, so...
Obviously means what it means, but means health as well. We have commercial buildings in the yellow.
I think I saw a
red is
Scandinavian
military
part of this
buildings.
game.
We have religious buildings, and then the last category, the bottom right there, is stewardship.
Is this Field of Glory 2
which is-
medieval?
Stewardship is like a local version.
This part could be. I'm not-
In a small country like
not
England,
particularly
that's
sure.
Relatively unified.
The free game is
population,
Field of Glory
and
2.
so on and so forth. Expanding within England doesn't really test your.
But there is a
authority
difference
that
between
much,
Field of Glory
but
2 and Field
some
of
the
Glory
larger
medieval.
Empires, or when you're, for example, if we were down in Spain back in the El Cid campaign, then if you take, as a Muslim nation, if you take a Christian province, then assimilating that is going to be incredibly difficult. So stewardship buildings are very important for that. You can see on the screen we have various characters of the population are assigned to buildings. They can be moved around. We have a number of classes in the game. We have, although it is simplified from Empire, so we have peasants, we have sort of free men, commercial traders, we have military, clergy, and stewardship is also nobles. So when I was talking about nobles earlier and the benefits that they bring, a lot
I
of
think
this is felt
Field of
in
Glory 2
military
does have
and,
medieval in it, but Field of Glory Medieval focuses more particularly on medieval times. Like in Field of Glory, you can go through the medieval ages,
Does it change its composition?
but Field of Glory 2 Medieval focuses more on those
the composition doesn't
places
change so
that were
much. The social
more affected by
strata overall are
like
quite
medieval
fixed.
combat and like were
It makes sense because
key
I mean,
players in that
because
part of the time
there
frame.
wasn't a lot of social mobility back then.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. You're not going to have 20 peasants all becoming priests just by going to church every Sunday. Population does grow over time. It grows pretty slowly unless you focus on it. And population. What we've done with the UI, you can see the global resources at the top. So manpower, money, metal, the 3 M's are all there up at the top. Population is very much one of those. Without population, there's nobody to work in these buildings. There's nobody to build these buildings. They'll take almost forever to build even a simple farm if you don't have the relevant population.
Makes sense.
If you assign nobles to particularly military buildings, the difference it makes to your output.
You think that guy sounds like Tom
cost,
Scott? I'd love to see what games Tom Scott was interested in.
The cost of producing.
I feel like it would be a game like this.
Assigning
Things with
nobles,
statistics and
makes a
numbers,
real difference. They're a very
maps.
valuable
That seems like things
resource.
he'd
You
be
can see here
interested
we
in.
don't have very many people. We don't have anybody working in agriculture, and we're all going for infrastructure instead. So that can be quite unbalanced.
I'm seeing quite a few cool things there. First off, I really love how many trade goods there are. Like it's
Yeah, there's a
really
lot of goods you can make. What's the
Yeah,
thing in
we've
the
We've
jar?
done a lot of work on an awful lot of icons. I can't
Pickled
remember how many
eggs?
trade goods we've got, but it is an awful lot. Hundreds and hundreds. We have
And of course, it
something.
depends on your region, right?
Absolutely, yes, yes. You know, you're not going to be producing coal in the Sahara or anything like that.
Oh, that's
We
cool.
have, I think, 400 buildings or something like
That's a
that.
lot.
It's affected by many things.
What's up, Spooderman?
Eastern nations will have a very different building tech tree compared to Western nations, but Venice will have very different buildings to what England may have, for example. So yes, there is a lot. There's a lot because there's a lot of trade goods, but there's a lot of play styles. We have, as I say, 10 major factions. We have
10 major
something
factions.
crazy, like about 90 different forms of government in the game, and
90
that
forms of government?
defines a lot of what buildings are available to you. But not only that, but then what perks those buildings bring, so on and so forth. So, yes, we need a lot of buildings. It's been a lot of work going into producing those.
90?
I think it's super cool. I mean, it's
No,
obviously not a
400? I
game,
couldn't even build
but,
90.
it
What
has
could they
the-
have?
That kind of depth and complexity that not many grand strategy games have.
Barracks,
Also, I
church,
want to
farm,
mention, actually,
lumber mill, sawmill.
many grand strategy games of set in this era don't really represent population as a unit, or rather,
Yeah.
as a resource. So I really think it's very cool to have population tied to both the economy as well as warfare.
Yes, I mean it's obviously it's abstracted. You're not managing 10,000 units or anything like that, but it's definitely one of the. I mean, there are
A
very
Denny's,
many
medieval
tensions in the
Denny's,
game.
yeah.
There are so many
Internet cafe,
trade-offs
true.
you have to make at every level, and to managing
A train
population
station,
rather than
yeah.
just having one big resource and needing 25 people to work in a sawmill. It definitely becomes much more of a. There's always a balance to be made, in terms of who's doing what and what regions within your kingdom are going to be doing what and
Makes sense.
what you can build, what you can't build.
All right, before we move to the next video, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions
Oh,
from
Wendy's.
chat. So, T-Rex 1983, can we open the religious tab? Well, T-Rex, these are pre-recorded videos. To be honest, I don't remember if you opened the religious tab at some point. Did you?
There is a religious tab.
Okay.
Is it completely working at the moment? I'm not sure.
Okay.
There's definitely, it's one of the first new look things that went in was the religious tab. And it does show it will be familiar to returning players in terms of.
Is this Empires or Medieval? I don't think Medieval had grand strategy.
We also have a very nice
They'll be
looking map
showcasing
now,
all the
which
Field of Glory
because,
games. This is Field of
we have
Glory
5
Day.
holy cities in
So
play,
they're having a big event that's
and,
showcasing a bunch of Field of Glory games,
Rome,
which is why Field of Glory
Constantinople,
2 is free on Steam right now at the link at the top of the
and
chat.
obviously who controls
But they're
those
covering a lot of
cities,
their other games
will
and new
control,
stuff, like
the papacy
DLC and
feels,
other things they got
matter an awful
planned.
lot, about
And
how
things that they've
Muslim
worked on in the
neighbours
past.
feel about you, so on and so forth. Obviously,
But we'll see.
Jerusalem
We got some time.
is a constant
got some
source of strife and division. So yeah, there's a lot going on the religious tab, as you point out. I don't think we've got it on the video today.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Next question. B. Vargas 78. This will feature crossover battles with Field of Glory 2 Medieval as well. Want it? Yes. It's a spoiler, but yes, we're actually going to show that today. So yeah, we'll show that in a bit. Ignacio Spain 1. Multiplayer campaign in Empires had the problem that battles could not be exported to be played in Field of Glory 2. Will that be fixed here with Medieval?
I think one of the nicest things about Fog Kingdoms is the ability to export battles in Empires was something that we thought up long after it had released. It was retrofitted. We tried to make it work, did a very good job indeed. We had designed Kingdoms right from the start with the ability to be able to do this. So if a unit appears in Kingdoms, it means it's already there in Medieval, so there'll be no problems with that. We've thought ahead in terms of the effects of generals and things like that, which I think we might come to later on one of the videos. So
they seem to know what they're doing.
be,
Yeah, this is certainly one that's like a pinnacle.
Nothing should be hacked together, or
old world.
It should really work right.
Empire builder.
Time around,
Pre-industrial revolution.
That's great. Right, so if you have any more questions,
around the medieval era than like the Renaissance.
Marco will also be answering all your questions about Field of Glory Kingdoms during the tea time this week. So yeah, we'll catch up.
Oh, I think you just said Field of Glory Kingdoms.
All right, so next video, which is about warfare, my favorite topic. All right, so
yeah, time to go to war, boys. Hell yeah.
And of course, warfare is a mean and not an end. But how do you win a campaign, a playthrough in Field of Glory Kingdoms now?
Well, yeah, it's a means to an end, but it's essential. With a very few exceptions, probably the Italian Maritime Republic.
Am I going to play this? We have before.
You're going to need to conquer land.
Actually, I've live streamed.
It's the goal of the game.
I think this game, and we have a video on Medieval Field of Glory Medieval, I think, or the other way around. But we've played one and live stream. Well, video on one, live stream on the other.
Of any nation, so conquering your neighbours, imposing your just and wise rule on those savages is a vital part of the game. It's incredibly unlikely that you will have enough legacy. You won't be able to evolve your kingdom if you don't control enough land. So yeah, fighting is right out the box. You've got a number of enemies. It doesn't matter how much you want to be loved. The Welsh hate the English, the French hate the English.
It was a violent era.
the Scottish hate the English, and dare I say vice versa, and on it goes.
I'm sorry, I think a lot of people hate English.
Well, it's just some examples. Please do put your comments in the chat. But there are natural enmities right from the start, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you've got to be on the front foot. If you just sit there and let Wales build up a big army, then yeah, you're going to be losing Cornwall. You're going to be losing Northwest England in no time at all. So military is a big part of the game, and it's an enhanced part of the game from last time as well. We've done a lot to reflect the period it's in, but also to deepen the gameplay.
I'm seeing quite a few different unit types there. So what can you tell us about army composition? What defines a good army?
Well, what defines a good army? Well, if only there was such a
helicopters.
It depends.
Missile launchers,
who
airplanes.
you're fighting against, of course.
Orbital strike cannon.
You're going to be fighting. Those are two very important things. There's no point in sending a load of heavy cavalry or heavy infantry to fight in a swamp, because they are just going to sink. They're not going to win any battles for you. So you need to plan ahead. You're going to need some light troops. You're going to need a mixed balance. I mean, we're not making a purely combat strategy game at the same time, but we have we can see a good range of units available right from the start there, and this is early in the game, so we don't have many serious military buildings built at this point. But yeah, you're going to need a combination of light and heavy and range troops and infantry, and of course it's the medieval era, so the stars of the show, except in marshland, are always going to be your knights. However, this is all expensive. Building buildings to train these guys, equipping these guys takes an enormous amount of metal that you could be doing other stuff with. And they need paying as well, and knights need paying quite a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
At least
they're
$1.
brave men and they like to live well. So what we have in this game here is a division between your professional soldiers, your standing army.
AC 30 and 130 in medieval times would be too OP.
Raise levies quickly.
Maybe.
Go out into the land and press gang the peasantry into fighting.
I have a feeling
these
maybe it
guys
wouldn't
are,
be
numerous
too
and they're
effective,
cheap.
actually, because
Ish.
if you think about
They're
it,
cheap in the sense that
once those two
you
armies
can
come
pay to
together,
raise.
it's
You don't need to
basically
train
just
them, you need to
like
pay to
melee.
raise.
Like they're just, it's
And
danger
they
close.
don't
Even at the
really
start of the
gain
battle,
a
like
lot
it's
of
pretty damn close.
experience. So once their job is
So it would be
done,
helpful
and your
before the
chess
battle,
rule
but
has been
once it
imposed,
starts, I don't know.
across the kingdom, then really you just need to disband these guys. Otherwise, they're just going to keep eating. They're going to keep needing payments, and they're going to bleed you dry. So it's a balance of having a core of much more efficient professional troops versus your more accessible and more easily raised standing levies.
And of course, the units at your disposal will depend on your culture and your region.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, we could probably do a whole stream just talking about military stuff, and
Maybe we will at some point.
maybe we will, indeed.
Maybe we
yes.
will. Maybe
Yes,
we
there's
will.
a huge amount of difference, not just in the buildings that you have, but also decisions that you've played along the way, relationships with tensions with some of your neighbors. There's many things that affect what you can raise. So it's not just your culture and the lands that you can.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh, we're seeing that.
Now we're seeing some
We're seeing
warfare.
Wales versus England. Yes, a battle playing out in Fog Kingdoms.
Whales? Those are
So
not
we can
whales.
see
Those are
some
troops.
of our two armies here, somewhere up on fairly rough ground. So cavalry is protecting the flanks and not doing a lot more here, rather than sort of shocking into the other side. The way
Oh damn,
the
they're already
battles play
close
out
range
will be,
fighting.
familiar to people who know the game well already. This is all playing out in front of you. You can watch it step by step, or just see it play through as a movie. You can kind of click through as if you're controlling, but there's no real there's no strategy going on here. You're not sort of controlling your troops. It's an abstraction essentially of a battle based on the value of your troops, their morale as well. I mean, that they like any troops, they have supply issues and morale issues to some extent, and hungry, exhausted soldiers aren't going to be very good, as history has proven many times since.
That is true.
Yeah, you can see how it plays out.
He
in
is right about
Kingdoms.
that.
Quite straightforward. So for
Yeah, this
those
is Field of
people who,
Glory
perhaps
Kingdoms.
like myself, don't really want to.
Thanks for the tip. Yeah, links at the top of the chat if you want to get Field of Glory 2. It's different than the game they're showing now, but it's essentially the same. Like there are differences, but
this is perfect for me.
Yeah, I mean, you can choose.
You can.
And if you want, of course, as we already mentioned, you can also play the button in Field of Glory 2 Medieval, but we will get to there.
We will get to there, indeed.
Ooh.
So what's the main difference in terms of how battles are fought? And
I like the
how
character portraits that they're
battles
not
Medieval Kingdoms
IRL, but they're like
Field of
they're
Glory
paintings of historical figures.
Terrain is
I like that.
important here, certainly. The value of your troops. You have the value of your commanders as well nowadays. It's look, much of it is familiar from last.
You remember in 1999 you played the
Few
same game?
tweaks here and there.
Really?
Sounds
This
cool.
game's been around since the 90s? Okay, so now that we've got caught up to where we were, we're going to jump back to the live, and then we'll go back a little bit. We did join a little late, but we'll see what they're up to for more Field of Glory.
Which side do you
No,
prefer?
I think if we go to...
No, you cannot. You cannot.
No, you cannot.
see.
Tools whatsoever in the game at the moment. You need to know how to play it. So we didn't want people bouncing off the game quite quickly. It doesn't give them a good impression of the game.
Ooh. Oh, trailer. Trailer! We got some new footage. Oh, this must be Field of Glory Medieval. There's no sound? Hello? Oh, it's very quiet. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. So Field of Glory 2 is for free. Field of Glory is out. Field of Glory Medieval is out. Pretty much every Field of Glory game, I think, is fully released with new DLC on the way. Let me just check and see. See if there's any upcoming ones. Oh, you can actually buy a complete pack, too, if you really like it. So, Field of Glory 2, it's free. Field of Glory 2 Medieval is kind of newer. Field of Glory 2 Complete combines those and all the DLCs together. No, that's not true. Field of Glory 2 Complete combines everything for Field of Glory 2 together. Field of Glory 2 Medieval combines all that DLC together as well. And then there's Field of Glory Empires, which came out in 2019. So that's like the earlier one. So the one that we just saw is kind of the older one, as well as Field of Glory 2. So the newest one is Medieval. Yeah, so Field of Glory 2 from 2017, Field of Glory Empires from 2019, and then Field of Glory Medieval. Let's see when that's from. I think that was just last year. Let's see. So Field of Glory 2 Medieval was announced, or rather released on February 4, 2021. So we took a look at a new DLC that came out last year. So that one's been out for a couple years. Yeah, brother.
And we're back. Hey, Annie.
Hi, good to see you again.
Good to see you. Yeah, it's great. So I don't know what I'm doing at all. So and that I see Michele is just switching to yes. That's much better. Thank you, Michele. So I know what's happening now. We're in a short moment. We'll start the final of the Field of Glory 2 Medieval Tournament.
Oh, no kidding. They're having a tournament.
With us.
Hello. I'm not in screen, but I speak. Okay. Yeah.
Paolo is
actually with the beauties. So
Paolo is actually the only one who knows what he's talking about in terms of commenting of the finals. So.
Yeah, I know very well the game. I remember that Marco joked me every time I did the tournament for two because I do not win, but when there is somebody to...
So they're having a Field of Glory tournament right now. That's
me,
pretty
so,
cool.
Yeah.
It works out.
Yeah.
Awkward, yeah.
So we are here for the
live events are always
Anyway,
weird. You gotta like,
you
gotta have fun with it. Otherwise, it's not fun or interesting to watch.
Julia,
Hi.
ciao Julia.
Hi, ciao. Can you hear me?
We
Dude,
can hear you fine.
Look at that painting up there. I want that.
So what's
It's
happening
the-
upstairs?
Everything is going really, really good. We have finished the
Hi,
digital
Julia.
tournament, while our friend of the tabletop gamer are still.
I
going
want
on
that. That is
playing.
badass.
So I have the final results with me here. In a very
Fantastic.
digital way.
That's cool too. This
I don't
one.
know if you can
This
see
one's
me.
cool.
So I will tell them in a minute.
Oh, I'm hanging
but,
out. Hell yeah.
I can say
Hey, what's
that,
up, guys?
the
I'm hanging out
afternoon
down
was
here with the homies.
Success, and they all enjoyed the Field of Glory Day very, very much. We have also Aurelian there that is finishing the medieval bust. That is really, really cool.
Yeah, he's working on medieval
So
busts over
everything
here.
is
Yeah.
going on
This guy's getting his
really
craft
good.
on. This is what
That's
Uthras was
great.
doing the other day when we
I
were talking
have
about that.
heard that we're putting the
I wanna
two
do that.
posters behind for an auction later. Yes. So if you in the chat, if you want to just give us a price you would pay for these, and we'll ship
Shipping
them.
included.
We'll ship them over. No,
Wait, are
they've
they
been
giving
very
these away? Because
Definitely
I'll
ship
buy
them.
those for like $200 each, easily.
They've been very popular, so
I
I'm
saw Richard Bodley Scott asking about them.
Richard.
Montante.
Yes.
Richard, how much do you want to pay
Uthras
for
is a
it?
nerd. I know. Uthras is
We
cool
start
though,
from
man.
5,000
Painting
pounds.
miniatures is like a
Give you
really
5% discount.
that's really relaxing.
Wow.
I mean, you take your time and you're just
Edmonds pays $3.50 for it. $450. It's like $3.50. I'm not sure,
I was
Edmund.
get a massive
Uh,
discount.
What money? Yeah, just
I've got a $3,600 here. We're getting better. We're getting much better here.
damn.
Do you want to give us the results and tell us a bit more about the tournament, how it played out?
Oh yeah, I could tell you the results.
Here it
And
is.
Ooh.
yeah, I will. Okay, so um, we are going to see as final match Paul with the French army playing against Mike
Oh.
that plays the English Yorkists. So good luck, Paul and Mike. But the whole chart is the following. So first of all, for the moment is Paul. Then we have Claudio with 103 4 points. But they explained me that it's not possible to play with a player that you have already played with. Paolo, correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct.
So the final must be against Mike, that is the third one, and Paul. Then we have Stefano with 104 points. Then we have, I think that is right, Yole. The digital paper is not so.
Oh, Chad, are you saying two of these
Then we
people
have
are streaming this too
Paul
from this
with
list?
85 points,
You guys
with
recognize some of the people
45
here?
points,
Are they
and
are they
Rich with
streaming too?
18 points. So,
Yes, we are seeing the ladder, Julia. We are seeing the ladder with the nicknames of the guys. So the final will
Great.
be Paul, that is Cherebuska with 186. That is the top player for now. As we told in the previous live, he is playing with medieval French, and he will play against Triari, that is Mike, for the final. Actually, True Knight, that is Claudio with his Venetian army, is going to play against a Legio, 10 Legio.
Oh, they're going in.
The other
Wait, this says
Italian,
final
Stefano,
scores,
who
but it
is
sounds like
organizing
they're going into
tournament.
the
We thank you for
grand
thank him for the help.
finale.
And if True Knight will have a big
Hmm?
win, while Cerebusca and Triari do a tie, he could win the tournament. So they will do their best to have the best point score at the end of the game. So we will closely see.
I didn't
we will
realize people
closely
played this
watch
game
and comment the
competitively. I'd
game
have
between-
trouble just like fighting the
sorry,
AI.
between Cerebusca and Triari.
These are the
Wow.
these are
And-
the mega
and you-
they're
pros,
really interesting.
the
to understand
MVPs.
I feel like I've got the general gist of it.
Yeah, I
It's
guess
like
so. I
it's like
guess so.
Champions Leagues. It's the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
Julia, do you have this Richmond guy handy? Because he only totalized 18 points. So
I
want-
will try to
we-
find him.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, we want
will
to
try.
understand what happened.
Calling him out on
Richard.
stream. Woof.
Okay, is there Rich between you? Rich? Can you please come over if you want to us?
Dude, they're calling this guy out.
But it's not true.
The guy in 8th place, they're calling him out. No, I wanted to. Damn it! I want to see what the hell happened. Hold on, I need to know. Where's the?
A single line, like normally we
Damn it.
are used to see, is now assigning the generals to be sure
Oh,
that
all right,
the
back
general
back to
of
gameplay.
each
Back to
wing
gameplay. Damn
is
it!
close to his troops.
See, that guy was
It
getting
needs
absolutely called
really
out.
The composition, so
Wow.
we have to be sure that the general in each wing, center, and other wing is closer to the other troops, so he can sustain with his morale. If a troop is closer to the general, can do free movement to.
Oh, I'm familiar
turn
with
on the
this.
side,
I've done this
and
before.
is more controllable, more under control in case of moral tests. During the game, each time the opponent will shoot or fight against you, any troops will do a moral test.
I should make mention too, by the way, for the Field of Glory series, you can do what you saw, where there's like a whole map of like Europe, North Africa, and a few other places. And you can do like the whole building of a dynasty, building of a kingdom, and then like continue to expand and invade all these other places or build alliances and whatnot. But then there's also historical and custom battles where you can do like this game mode where armies are fighting against each other, but you can do it where you don't have to do the whole setup for it. You could just do the actual combat. So you can do random fictional scenarios like Egyptians versus I don't know, the Irish or something like that, and you can have them fight with their best units that they've ever had throughout history. So you can take the best, you know, like Irish cavalry, and you can take like the best
Lovely bit
I don't know, archers and stuff, and like have battles against the Egyptians and stuff like that. Or you could do historically accurate battles, which I think a lot of them were against the gold. I think there's the fighting the Golden Horde, the Mongolian or the Mongol invasions of Europe. So you can also do historical battles on that front. And or like the War of the Roses, England versus France. You could do like different kingdoms in France fighting against each other too. Or the English versus the Scots, that kind of thing.
You could have saved Rich from last night.
So you can pretty much play any scenario in the world map, I'm pretty sure, or you can do it from the actual army battles too.
No, absolutely. We should do the same tomorrow.
So you can do the big overall game, or just the battles, which is kind of nice. What game is this? I think they're playing Field of Glory Medieval now, but they're showcasing everything. And keep in mind again, Field of Glory 2 is free right now on Steam. So if you want to play Field of Glory 2, you can do that. But there is like a lot of these games with a lot of DLC. It's cool. Like you can get the DLCs that you want based on nation.
He's doing.
Yeah, he's done it.
You
Yeah,
can see it.
he's done it.
It's done.
He's playing his turn
Okay.
right now. And
Watching from across the room.
yeah, watching from across, I was like, I think he's telling me something.
Doesn't look like the other screen.
Yeah.
It's cool though. They went over all the resources that you need. You need manpower, food. If you're familiar with maybe like Civilization or Victoria, you need food, you need wood, coal, iron in order to build your army. But then also you need to raise a population too and keep them healthy.
Really in anything,
So you need
let alone
to
particularly in games where
have your
something is strategic,
civilian population
fits
healthy
with the
too.
nitty-gritty, while also being able to explain that and make that approachable to anyone. It's really difficult, and I have to hand it to Richard. He's done amazing at balancing that.
And one of the things that when Paolo describes what's happening on screen, you can actually see the depth of why something happens and so on. But actually clicking and deploying is super easy, right? So
Yeah, that's true. This
you
game
kind
is
of
very
have to
easy to
know
set up the
a lot
battles.
of things, or assume that the player knows a lot of things before playing.
Yeah, I mean, the teaching to click the button is definitely part of it, and I think that Fog does a very fantastic job at doing that. But sort of almost innately teaching you the underlying strategy of various units and groups and terrain and things like that. There's a whole underlayer to it that's very, very interesting.
The thing I find fascinating is that there's a big crossover between this being a hobby, like like using a lot of your time, and just being a game that you just can play a game in 20 30 minutes and you've done a game of it. So it's an interesting mix of, is it like a true passion and
Having something for everyone, whether it's something where you want to be spending hours upon hours playing it, or whether you want to sort of sit down and
it's
Is this a
not,
medieval game? There is.
compared against Starship Troopers and so on. It's not like
It depends on which one we're talking about. Field of Glory does go through medieval times, but there's also one that kind of goes into medieval times and expands upon that. There's one that begins before and goes past medieval times, and then there's another version. But just check Steam for Field of Glory, and you can find Field of Glory Empires, Field of Glory 2, and Field of Glory Medieval. Those are the three big ones.
Is that there is a strong community element to this game that has to be recognized.
But the link is at the top of the chat, so just check the top of the chat for the free Steam link.
After
It's free on Steam.
15 years, the Field of Glory first game has been created.
Well, I played the Field of Glory in all its versions. I began to play Field of Glory 1 when I was working at UTech. You sent me the codes because I played at work without saying to my bosses, obviously, because in that time it was not part of my job.
training.
And then I played Field of Glory 2, and curiously, Field of Glory 2 is my last review on IGN Italy before leaving, and I rated it 9 out of 10. I didn't know that it was going to work for Slytherin at all. And I played a lot of single player, but because I
Field of
am
Glory
not
2
a-
Medieval.
I'm
All
not
right,
a
let's see
player,
some medieval combat.
I don't try very much to play online. I played a lot online.
What's up, Josh?
Field of
Good morning
Glory
to you.
2 during the
Susan,
pandemic
welcome.
with Stefano and the other guys from the Milanese Italian club, because it was the only way to play together. Now the game starts, This is
So
the
this is
French
what the
army
combat
from
part of the game looks like. But remember,
Pole,
there's the
and
whole
we see the
world map part that we
deployment
saw
of
earlier
Mike
that's like
he
Victoria or
closed
like Hearts
in
of
the
Iron.
top corner of the map. We are seeing we are watching Mike's turn. So you are watching what he already did.
So this
in
is the
turn,
English
and he sent
versus the
to
French.
Pole. So this is something that has already happened, and he is moving towards the woods because he discovered the deployment from Pole from the French army, and the French army on the right he has less troops because he deployed all across the table. Now you are seeing that Paul is moving his light horses and the light troops near the wood to understand if there is a ambushes, because he needs to discover if there is something nasty inside those woods. With those good players, you can never know where they put those dummy light horses and light troops. As you see,
Thanks,
you
Josh, for
could
the 2
move
months, bro.
all the group together. This is a part of the Fog tabletop
New
original
member, welcome.
rules
Yeah,
where you
thank you,
can
brother.
move entire bodies together. And the tactic from Mike is good because he's moving in a corner, so they will fight on Mike's terms in the corner with woods around that have they are a problem for the French army. But this at the same time allows Paul to move to reposition and move the artillery. That is particularly deadly because its longer range can attack and shoot to Mike's troops while he can't do basically nothing. If the artillery begins
Scouts,
to shoot on his troops, he has to choose to stay and accept the losses.
cavalry.
only
The
on his
cavalry on
side,
the
or
left
to
could
exit
be
from
scouts,
the
maybe.
strong position he did on the right corner from Paul's perspective. Also, you are seeing that Paul is moving his best troops, the cavalry, to move to attack the portion of the army that is in the open between the woods. And I think that in 4 or 5 bounds we will see the charge. Now we can speak freely because the turns are one after the other. So even if I'm explaining what is happening,
okay.
Mike will see when he loads the turn. So there is no surprise. The only thing we don't have to mention, if we see some ambushes, we should not say, because otherwise we could give an advantage to one of the players.
I was actually going to say, are you spoiling the game to Mike?
No.
It's like
The thing is,
Perhaps a
So
bit of an
ambushes are the
advantage.
only thing the other
the
army
tournament
can't
ends,
see.
and no, it's not. And at this stage, has 2 players that could win, and the other one is Claudio that is playing with Stefano. Stefano and Claudio knows each other. They are Italian players. They played a lot, even if they met for the first time in real world today. And I think that the game will not finish with a draw. So one of them will win. If Mike and Paul will draw, possibly one of the Italian could win the tournament.
are they playing now?
Yes, they're
Or
playing now.
can we know what's happening upstairs? Maybe that.
We can ask to Julia to have some update.
Yeah, just check out. I don't
If
think
we
we
can,
can
if we
make a
can.
connection with Julia now, but we can check what's happening up there because that would be interesting to see because what is happening here is also depending on what is happening upstairs. So, and there's a nice little prize for the winner as well.
Oh
There is a
man, are they
prize,
going to get
yes.
those posters? They
For
better
the
get those
first 3,
posters.
And yes, because I when I work in war games with Marco. When I got home for my free time, I play 3 war games and I organize a lot of tournaments. I had one of the biggest 2 weeks ago. So when there is to ask for prizes, so
We're gonna
we
hold
can,
them so we can show
let
them.
me show. This is the prizes that we will give to the first 3.
Oh, prize time.
Yeah. So switch camera, switch camera, switch camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Just let
Yours
us
is
know
backward.
because it's backward.
I'm trying to get the light.
Let
There
me
we
know
go.
there is the logo of the day and first, third, and second place.
They are visibly a little bigger too.
Yeah, they are. The first one is bigger. Please write in the chat if you like or not, because Marco
Because
is not entirely
Paolo is selling
satisfied.
these as well. So we're trying to make some
They're
money
actually
out of
having a
this.
tournament
Come
with
on.
some
And
trophies
by the
and
way,
stuff.
if you are interested, I'm just whilst.
I wonder if they'll
Mike
do
explains
tournaments for their
turn,
other games as well.
just a
Like
reminder
if
that
they're
Field of Glory
giving Field of Glory
Ancients
this
is
love,
free to keep on Steam for
I wonder if
3 or
they'll
4
do it
days
for
still,
you know
and then
Terminator.
on GameSpot,
and
there's a few discounts
for
on Steam as well. But
Broken
also
Arrow and other
our
things like that. That'd be cool.
friendly partners at Games Planet are
So it looks like they're showing love for all their
running a big
games,
promo
all
up
their
to,
games.
I think 70% discounts on all the series. I was actually checking this morning, and the best-selling game so far in the sale is Filigree Empires.
Empires.
Really? There
Perfect.
you
Yeah.
go.
Empires.
So
Wait,
it gives a good indication.
mentioned a sale. Hold
of,
on.
interest towards kingdoms.
are these on sale?
What we're going to deliver on.
Oh, they're all
So I think
50% off as
one of the
well.
things I keep saying is that Empires was a bit of an experiment in a way, and a way
Yep.
for us to sort of transition from age-old traditional games to something that's more close
Oh yeah,
to
check this out, chat.
what 4X play games are nowadays. And
Field of
and
Glory
we
is
sort of,
free, and then all the other stuff is on sale
launched it and forgot about it
for
in
like
a way. There was a
60% off.
DLC,
Damn,
but it was
$5.
just not bound to make it like a long-running series. And Kingdoms has a lot more potential of
Empires
being,
is on sale for $9.
open to that type of approach. So it's going to be a huge, massive game at launch.
Rise of the
and we're
Swiss,
pretty proud of that. But
Wow,
also there's
Switzerland
what
taking
they can
over.
do with it over time.
released back in May,
Definitely
just about a month ago. That's a new
So
DLC.
it's an interesting thing that when you
So here's what
when you
Empires looks like
find
from
something that's been
2020.
super successful, you sort of think, oh gosh, I could have done this, this, and this, to make it even more successful.
But I don't know if this one
I
actually
think Empires
featured
is a bit
the
of that.
ground warfare.
There has been it's been a game that launched at the same time as Imperator Rome.
Absolutely.
So
Just
we
a
were
few weeks away.
we weren't sure.
I don't know if
we were
Field of
like,
Glory Empires, the older
did it
game,
go
had
well or
the
not?
actual
Dan, your
on-screen
turn, Paolo.
like
Your
combat.
turn, Paolo, to explain what's happening now.
Okay, let's see what happens.
But Field of
with
Glory 2 and
Field of
Medieval will
Glory.
look like this. Let's go.
Did they stop saying good luck?
No, no, they finished.
Yeah,
They
the
finished. Now they're
competition's on.
beginning, yes, to insult each other. No, I'm joking. There was
We
a
blurted out.
a fair spirit today. Nobody got angry except one of the players that was playing Tin Soldiers. That when he rolled too many ones, began to shout against the luck. Okay, we are seeing.
Oh, they
we are
work
watching
together?
Mike
Okay.
turn, and is steady moving, holds his army on
Thank you, Aiden.
his left flank, on the right of the flank of Paul, and Paul is doing the same. His light troops are faster, so he can move and can reach the rough area that is more brownish on the right, where for Mike is difficult to go because his troops can't go easily over there.
So basically, now Mike knows what Paul is doing, but will he know? Will he know after the
There is
replay?
no problem because Mike can't do nothing because it is Paul's turn. So the only thing that we don't have to say are about eventually
Ambushes.
about any ambushes
Yeah,
that
ambushes,
the
yep.
other player can see. So we are not failing that. When
With
you
the
play,
awesome ending of the last Spider-Man movie, you can't say anything about
I
that.
didn't see yet, so please
It's
don't
good.
spoil it.
You
No
should.
spoilers.
They told me, but I didn't see. I didn't have the chance. So basically, we are seeing that Mike is preparing the charge of the cavalry, if he can, because if Mike is successfully in taking all his army into the woods, it will be a draw probably because heavy infantry and heavy cavalry can't fight in the difficult. Basically, they lose all the advantages. And also Mike
Ambushes?
is
That's
on
a
top of the
that
hill,
is a
so it's very
delicious
strong position.
ambush. A ambush.
The only way to counter that is to use the artillery, but Paul has only 2 or 3 artillery, so it's
I
not
wonder what they mean
enough
by
to
artillery. Do
totally
they mean
demoralize
like
the army.
they don't mean like
It's a game
archers, do they?
like chess. It's a game where we have to
Mhm.
move, thinking what you're doing,
Like 5
and
Dude,
steps
these
ahead.
guys are
yeah,
so into this. This is
absolutely, and
awesome.
knowing that if you push too much, you can position yourself in a situation that is worse for yourself.
Who has the
As you
high
see,
ground? Is that the
Mike is
I think the
using,
English
sorry,
have the
Paul is
high
using
ground.
his bowmen and his artillery to shoot the. If you see, it's like a triangle for the position of Mike's troops. Is positioning is shooting troops to shoot to focus the shooting.
Positioning I
on
know is
the
important in
corner
this game
of the
too,
triangle
because you can
that
face like
is
forward,
exactly
left,
in the
or
woods.
right.
So Mike will have the advantage to
So
be
like when your
protected by the
troops
woods,
move, you
but
can
at the
also
same
angle
time will
them
sustain a lot of shooting.
to the left or right to
As
kind of flank.
every FOG player knows, concentrating the shooting is a very good way to demoralize the
There's an
enemy
ambush right
unit.
there in the
So
trees, I
shooting
think.
3 or 4 times in a bound against the same unit is very good.
Now Paul is
Ooh,
moving the camera
cinematic.
just behind his best shooting units, the bowman, long bowman, to see that he's going to shoot the top of the corner, forcing probably Mike to exit from that strong position. As you see, the players, these top players, do the turning in a very few minutes, probably less than 2 minutes, because they
Was that-
already
what
know
happened?
what they're going to do. They just understand which troops to move and shoot and fight before the other, but they already have a plan in their mind. When a lower player like me plays, sometimes invent on the spot, they have to think a bit more.
Hey, what's up, Easy
because,
Monster? Welcome to the
it's
stream, dude.
Not, I mean,
Good to see you.
solid plan like Paul or Mike's one.
So Paolo, you know, you've said.
Yeah,
that
FOG is
the
Field of Glory. So if he ever says fog,
two
he's meaning
filters
Field of
before
Glory.
they sort of start flashing.
Yeah.
Although I don't
fog,
think this
yes.
game has a fog
yes.
of war.
I think that we will see.
I don't think
normal-
so.
In a normal fog game, we see the beginning of the fight around turn 6 or 7, because it's enough to get close and begin to shoot. Here we have some movements. So while Mike is advancing, Paul is advancing with lesser speed, just because he has to reposition to counter Mike's movement. But I suspect he has a plan, because he is moving the best shooting troops in a position where if Mike stands.
So the guy on the
top
hill
of
is playing a
hills,
little bit more
he will sustain a
defensively.
lot
This
of
is
losses
interesting to
for the
see.
shooting.
I like this.
Since the point
This is
system
what's nice
is
about
based on the
tournament
losses from the
commentary is
enemy,
that if you
if,
get
for
experts or
example,
people who play a
Mike
lot
loses,
talking about what's going
12%
on, it's a
could be
great
enough
way
to
to
win the
learn,
tournament, while
especially when it
Paul
comes
doesn't
to
lose nothing,
a game that has
the
some
shooting
rather
troops
quick
from
multiplayer matches. Like
Mike are
these
in a
battles that
different
we're
position
seeing
and can't be exposed. So we
probably
will
don't
see
take more than
what
20
happens,
minutes.
and we will have a clearer idea of what is going
That seems like a long time.
to happen in the whole game in a couple of turns.
Couple minutes per turn at the
So
most.
things yeah, pressure's on. Yeah. So Mike's sort of playing it more defensively.
Absolutely,
Paul's more
but this is not a reason. It's not the player that is defensive. Is the field, because the field is generated randomly, and Mike had the luck to have two very good woods, one on his flank, right center flank on the base, and the other on advanced, so he could place the troops be inside his valley, let's say. This is exactly what happened in Agincourt against the English. It was not the same army, but a similar English army against a French army. The difference is that Paul is not doing the same mistakes from the French general at Agincourt, and instead of charging recklessly in the center of the English line,
Is it weird to stand in the bushes with the big banner? Doesn't that reveal their position? I guess maybe if you get close enough, then they're revealed. Or if they fire, then they're revealed.
Available for Julia.
Ciao, Julia.
She's back.
Hi guys.
Ciao, Julia.
What is happening? Oh,
Hello.
the painter is gone.
The painter is gone.
Oh, the painter is gone. The
What are
guy.
you doing?
He went
Oh,
to win
bro.
some other prizes for his
Yes,
paintings.
I think that
I'll
that
paint.
is
I'll be over
probably
here,
the
chat.
clear
I'm
reason,
gonna be
but,
painting.
If you want, we can.
Don't worry,
check
I'll
if
fill in while
he's
he's.
still around.
Mhm.
All right.
because
So what's the
I
current
I'll be
situation
over
with
here.
the other game? Do you have any news about that?
I think that the other game is going on. I
Mhm.
don't have precise.
I'm Bob
news
Ross now,
about
chat.
this, but I
Okay.
can always
Cool,
ask
Claudio, and ask
our
him how it's going with
friend.
Stefano.
Omar, welcome
Yeah,
back
you
as a
can ask
Raptor
what
egg.
Stefano is doing, if he's
Thanks for your
if he's
support.
winning or not, then that'd
And
be
Dark
great.
Triceratops, thank you very much for
Francesco
your
is coming with
Raptor egg
a
membership as
chair,
well.
Francesco. Look
There's
at
a
that.
Oh, they're
chair.
giving her a
Oh.
chair? Hell yeah.
I think they think that I'm too old to stay on my feet, but
No.
Welcome in the club.
I don't.
Well, it might be more comfortable to take a
How is
seat.
it? Do you see
No,
me well?
it's doing well. Mike's playing his third right now, so he's very focused, very concentrated.
Drewski,
He's,
welcome
looking
back.
at,
Thanks for the 9 months.
holding his positions, as far as I can tell. Painter is
Great.
back. The painter is back.
He's returned.
He is returned, but he has a
Yeah.
beer. Maybe this.
I know.
was the
He
beer.
got some water
Welcome.
for his inks and paintings. So it's
Yes,
still on the
of
job.
course. Yes, yes.
Julia, ask
Anyway,
Stefano how
New
it's going.
member.
I
Welcome.
invite into Stefano. Stefano, how is going the match? Your match.
Vieni lì, vieni lì.
Come here, come here. He's shy, he's shy. He wants
Francesco
to
should get him a
hide.
chair as well.
You want to sit on my chair? No.
Thank you. He basically said he's older.
I mean,
These are the best Twitch moments of my life.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
These streams are the
So
best,
how was
dude.
your match going?
It's at the beginning. It's not so bad. I started well. It's a derby between me and Claudio, the Italian players. We will see.
Yeah, good luck. And
Ooh,
which army are
cautious
you
but
using?
positive.
Milanese is all the player decided to get um, the army by nationality. Okay, that means I got Milanese army and my friend Claudio Veneziani.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cool.
okay, great, great. So good luck for the derby. So finger crossed.
Hey, chat.
Yeah, good
And
luck.
we will.
I'm not trying to
say
imply
good
anything when I
luck,
say this, but
and we will check later how is it going.
do you think
Yeah. Thank you,
in like
Stefano.
50 years this is what
We can
nursing
also
homes are going to
ask
be like?
Aurelian how is going the.
Instead of
Wait,
people
wait,
eating
we're
yoga,
going to
eating
see,
Jello and
because
doing like
Mike's
old
uploading
people
the jury
yoga and
now,
watching like
so
Price is Right.
We'll be back
we
to you
got-
after.
Do you think
the
there's just
fact.
going to be like
Yeah, we'll be back, we'll be back. Happy
LAN
poster.
parties and stuff going on?
No problems. I will.
Oh
be
my
there for
god.
you.
I can't wait to get old, dude. Think about it. Like, you're going to be able to go out to the LAN party room. It's going to be like a huge open room. People are going to be doing like Quake tournaments
Here you go.
and
Paolo,
like
Paolo, don't get distracted.
playing Field of Glory
Okay, now we see
and
the-
like
the
Hearts of
Mike's
Iron
box
and
where
stuff.
his,
Damn it, you're
light troops
flanking
that
my
was
infantry
probably
again.
ambushed inside the woods
Jebediah,
come
don't
out
do
to
that,
show
damn it.
to the light
Well, I'll
troops
get
of
better,
Mike.
noob.
This is
I'll kick your
this
ass.
is the reason because
It'd be
Mike's troops
awesome.
are uphill, so they have a bonus for fighting in that position. So for him, it's better
We need
to
some
get out and shoot as soon as
elderly
possible.
leagues for games. Like, we should
Thank you,
certainly
Mickey, for bringing a chair to the
encourage the older folks to also feel like new gamers as
Now
well.
Paul is getting on the flank.
There's got to be like a
to
lot of
move
older
his
folks who
light
got into
troops
gaming over the pandemic
away from the
and
confrontation,
are constantly
and
always
then
getting to games, you
moves
know?
his solid troops, the
Grandson or
the
granddaughter
heavy infantry in
buys
front.
them a Nintendo
So
Switch,
basically, he's doing
and now they've got 30 million hours into Animal Crossing or something.
where his light troops
That's
will shoot on
awesome.
the flank while
That's awesome.
the more solid will attack frontally. This happens because in
It'd be
Field of
really
Glory,
cool as hell
if
to see
you,
your grandfather playing a game
heavy
like this,
infantry
or
attacks,
City Skylines, or Hearts of Iron.
Light infantry, the light
Be
infantry
awesome.
needs to flee and evade. But if it evades and is charged again on the rear from other troops, is almost killed on the spot.
I'm
Now
beginning
we
to
see.
be excited here about this. I want to see how it goes.
Now he's just adjusting the position of his bowmen to prepare for shooting on the flank of the heavy infantry when they will descend the hill. He's preparing the
Oh,
assault.
we're talking
and
strategy
the
now.
assault
Let's
will happen
focus. Big
probably- You
brains.
see the woods in the front.
Big brains.
Just behind it, there is the line, the Mike line, and probably the fight will be over there. The final fight will be over there. Now we will see a couple, let's say 3 turns of preparation with shooting on the side to force Mike to descend from the hill.
Oh, we're getting into real strategy now.
It's interesting to see that, Paolo, you've sort of understood what was going to happen just basically after turn number 2, and now it's really unfolding as.
This is my experience. The problem is that it's not enough to win any tournament I'm doing, but thanks for your compliment.
You can
Now we
predict
see that
how other people win.
that Paul is not just moving; he's also watching the terrain on any side to understand all the angles and all the situation. He's also showing to us what is happening to make us understand what's happening.
In the meantime, in the background,
Hmm.
Mickey is basically moving stuff around. Like, I don't know what's happening, but yes, we're seeing the lobby right now, and
I guess this will do.
go. We have a replacement for the director in the meantime. So, Paolo,
Marco.
one thing that I keep coming back to when we're talking about Field of Glory is that some of the rules, if you're not a tabletop player,
There,
are
this
very
will work better,
obscure.
chat.
Like, why on earth, you don't have to kill your enemies to win, or stuff like that. What are the reasons why wargaming is based on these rules and not like simplified? Is there a way to simplify these things or make them
Okay.
more understandable to players?
Okay, there are different sets of rules, and some of the set of rules we also played together today are more
Oh, hold
simplified
on. That's not going
to
to work.
allow people to play in under 1 hour and with more easy mechanics. For example, probably the easiest set of rules is DBA, that you play only with 12 bases of miniatures. You can paint in one evening, probably. You spend under 30 euros to buy a raw army that you have to paint. And they are, anyway, a very good simulation of a game. Field of Glory is basically a much more bigger version of this set of rules. So it takes in consideration a lot of things that creates a true simulation. The first thing that distinguish between a plain game where you just shoot to the enemy just for fun, I mean, and a true simulation, a true war game, is that the opponent is not killed by killing every enemy, but by morale. If you
Oh,
see
yeah.
any historical
This
battles
game
from
has a
Cannes
lot
to
of
Frankfurt, you see that when the two
routing.
lines clashes, the losses are very minimal. Then one of the two sides lost confidence and go away, and so we have a lot of losses. For example, in Cannes, where one of the few Roman defeats, the Carthaginian army destroyed the two wings and then closes on the legionary. And at the end of the battle, we have 10,000 Romans killed against 600 Carthaginians. So during the fight, only 600 people died or were fatally wounded during the battle, while when the people turn and go away because they lost confidence, and this is where the game.
No. Yeah, they're talking about morale and routing, which makes sense. Damn it,
ends,
Twitch.
our
Okay.
game ends. And there are a lot of more because when the
They've been streaming this for 3 hours. There's been 3 hours of like gameplay footage and tournaments going
formation
on.
collapses and the people flee from the field, obviously the enemy kill everybody because they are
Right.
So this is the first thing you can see in a true simulation, even in World War II, Modern Wars or fantasy setting.
What's up,
is,
Gallon? Welcome back, dude.
when you see that the game takes in consideration. Another good thing is the flank attack, for example. Flank attack is something.
All right, we're talking strategy now, Chad. Big
important
brain
in Field of
emotes.
Glory.
Big
And
brain
the best
emotes.
players are the players that achieve to get on the flank and prepare for the flank closing. In Field of Glory, you can't immediately close even if you have the space. You have to go on the side and prepare for the next bound. So the opponent has always one bound to protect. And this is what makes the difference between a very good player and an ordinary player, because the ordinary player will fatally leave some of the flanks opened, and this is always the reason of a failure. Another thing, this is the third probably, that is important in a simulation, and how is the shooting is handled.
Okay.
If you shoot just one unit against the other, it will not happen basically nothing, because the losses inflicted by shooting are normally much lesser than a close combat fight. But if you begin to shoot many troops on the same one, that is exactly what Paul is doing in this game, sooner or later, the targeted unit will lose temper and go away. And this open a hole in the formation. And Mike is a very good player, so he has something behind to close the gap because he already knows that he will suffer in that position. But normally, if you make an hole, this is the way to get on the flank and win the game. And this is something that when you play Field of Glory 2, if you play the games against the computer at the lowest level is very easy to be, at least for somebody that has some experience in wargame, to be beaten. If you play the fourth or the fifth level, it's much more difficult.
For the fifth level.
And then you're ready to play online at our tournaments, and you will see that even if you play and win against the PC, that has many advantages because it's intelligent and sometimes it's more resistant than the human units on purpose because it must be stronger than us. When you play with human, as you play any game
Oh,
online.
this is
on
Field of
chess
Glory days.
or
We're taking a look at
anything
all
online,
the
you will meet the
different games from
best
Field of
players
Glory,
that will teach
and we're
you
watching a
any
Field of Glory 2
lot of
medieval
things
campaign
playing any
between
game. So the
France
advice I give
and
to the people that probably bought and
England right
downloaded
now.
for free the game today and want
And we're
to
looking to
start
see who's going to
playing
win.
Fog, play online, play on PC against the AI. When you're ready, play online.
And they're kind of
and
explaining
don't,
how
get,
this part of the game is played,
pissed
but
off if
it has like
you
the whole
lose.
kingdom management
Paolo is doing
aspect
training
of
for
building an
25
army and
years.
feeding
We still
people and
lost
building
this every time
cities in your
on
kingdom, and then
multiplayer,
also
and
the
he's
warfare
he
about
keeps
fighting
winning. Yes.
other
Marco.
kingdoms
Thanks to remember that.
and
Now we
empires.
see the evolution of the line from Mike that is opening the lines of his heavy infantry. So he's going to accept. Now we see revealed means that there are some ambushes inside the wood that began to shoot. So it
No, Twitch, don't do this. I want to see the fights. Damn it.
revealed himself.
There we
And
go.
now we will see another weak spot in his deployment on the left side from Paul's perspective.
But
there are only
as
2 units.
another reminder,
So
remember the
now
top of
we
the
have to fight
screen,
against
the link
Lake
is
City
free up there
that
for
charges
Field
on
of
the
Glory
flank, but
2.
obviously is very
Great game
difficult
to try
for
out.
forces to win
Give it a
against
shot this
infantry.
week.
But they're trying to go behind the line. This is a very good tactics because when the fight will happen, having some light horses behind the line is a very good
I want to see who's going to win this fight.
advantage. On the right, the situation is of constantly trying to shoot on Mike's troops. Okay, you see that he charged uphill. He was lucky because he won the game, he won the fight, and you see that when there is a red number on the results, it means that the opponents, the one with the red number, does a moral test. He lost the moral test, so he went down on 1 level of morale. That unit will fight much worse for the rest of the game.
So morale shows how aggressive your troops will be too.
Now, basically, probably the Mike tactic is to buy time on the left and try to fight in the center where he has the best troop, the pikes and the heavy infantry that are emerging from the woods.
Can you tell who's going to win?
No, I have no idea. It's too
Yeah, they
early
said
because, probably there is
about
just
4 or 5
a
turns just to kind of
small
get maneuvered into
advantage
battle, but now the
for
troops are starting to
Paul
fight
at the
on the upper
moment
right
because,
corner.
he is in a very good shooting position.
This
but
could take
if
a while.
Mike is attacking with quickly in the center, he could probably smash the line because heavy infantry against bowmen, when they go in close combat, is surely a sure win for the heavy infantry. This game is like scissors, paper, and rock. So the bowmen are very good against the mounted. The mounted are very good against the infantry, and the infantry are very good, heavy infantry against the bowmen. So basically, it's a dance where you have to move your best troops against the weakest one.
Field of Glory is a dance. I like it.
Any war game.
I like it.
A very brutal dance.
Yeah, it's like a word dance where a lot of people die. All right.
You see that
I like
fall.
it that every time we can see the map from above because there's a lot of zooming in and zooming out, which is helping a lot.
You see that Mike is keeping his troops 3 squares away from the enemy, so he can shoot because he's the shooting range, exactly the shooting range. But at the same time, he will try to move.
The whole
and
turn-based
attack
strategies are
even if
impressive.
Mike moves
Turn-based strategy
at
games are
maximum
cool.
speed,
I've been seeing, for a
if
while
he
I was
takes
seeing
a couple
people
of
say they
turns
didn't
to
like
get
turn-based
in
games,
close
but
combat.
more and more I'm
Is
seeing
Julia
people who
still
enjoyed XCOM and other
yes,
games that were
yes,
like
yes.
XCOM
Back in.
start to play games like Field of Glory, and then
I'm
start to
still
play games
here.
that are kind of more
You
like
don't sound very happy.
outside of the typical
I'm
XCOM,
here.
you know,
I'm really
or it's
happy.
much more large scale rather than
I
just
was
squad
just
based.
I was listening to Paolo's explaining, and
So you
it
fell
was really
asleep?
interesting. Yeah,
So it's
no, I was
Paolo's fault.
Thank you, Marco.
almost. No, I was not
It's all
falling
written in my
asleep.
book.
If you want to test your patience, ask Paolo a question, a general question about wargaming, and he'll be
Yes,
starting with like, yeah.
But just remember, I have a crossbow at the office.
Yes, I remember it every day because I can see it right next to my desk, so I can't
Julia's going to
forget
be playing
about
in the
it.
next tournament.
Yeah, Julia, you've been stealing some tactics, and
She's
Annie
gonna
is
be a
saying you're
pro.
gonna play in the next tournament, right?
Yes, 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 of course.
Yeah.
I'm just practicing while you in the pause, while you speak about the tournament against between the two guys downstairs. I'm practicing. So
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
next
okay.
okay.
Next tournament,
next
we will start the
tournament,
next tournament in a few days, so you and Marco can play and see who is the better.
of course. Yes,
Now
challenge
Oh,
go back to
accepted.
they're
Stefano and
training
ask
the
what's
employees
happening.
now on how to play.
He's went away. Probably lost the game and went crying.
He
somewhere.
left.
No, actually he's behind me, but maybe that's because
I wonder how. I hope that happens a lot, by the way,
He's
for
hiding.
Okay.
people who make
the
games. I
infinite
hope that they
flow
also
then?
like do just fun competitive
I don't know,
gameplay
he's
within the
looking
company.
at,
Oh my God, there we go.
Claudio, I think.
There's the
Maybe
painter. He's
Okay.
back.
trying to steal some tactics from
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Venetians.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to interrupt them. Maybe
No,
I can get
we
killed.
don't do that. No.
This is something serious.
But
Absolutely.
if you want, I can also ask to Aurelian how is it going with
Yeah, go for
the
it. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, let's go.
Yes, ask Aurelio to take the face of the bust to show it what he did today while we were playing.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
please.
asking
Yeah.
to him.
I wouldn't do
Aurelian,
that. I'd be
show
scared of
the
making it
face of the
fall in
miniature.
frame.
Oh, they're gonna show off the miniatures. Hell yeah, brother.
Like paint a
He's,
photo.
he's not really happy of coming here, guys. You're making
Ooh.
me making some enemies. What? Okay.
What the hell?
Oh,
This
look
is
at
the
him.
face.
There he is.
Is that a head on a spike?
Can
God.
you see that?
I-
No,
That's
no,
how
no.
the Julia's head
It's a little out of focus.
What,
but it's,
I thought they were doing like a whole
Turn back
soldier.
over. Yep.
What is this? This is a head on a stake?
I've got a lot
Can you
of
see it?
I can.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
Compliments.
Incredible.
Bravo, Aurélien.
I don't know.
They are saying bravo, Aurélien. They're trying with a terrible French to say that.
All right. And
What the
Mike
hell
is
are they
still
doing?
playing
I
his
thought
turn.
they were painting like
Mike's
Wonderful.
turning red.
cavalry and
It's
like
very
archers.
hot.
What the hell was that?
Thank you, Aurélien.
Yeah,
Roll
that
those
escalated
lines.
quickly.
It's the only choice you have is to go red.
Yeah.
How is it
Anyway,
going, the match?
we've got to do more of these Twitch streams because one of the funniest things is seeing Alberto turn completely wet.
Oh my
He's-
God.
Did he
I-
recover?
I remember the year
I
you
think
forced him to wear a
Having
sweater
a
and
shower right
sit next to
now,
the
I
fire.
guess.
Are they making
Yeah,
a
that
board
was,
game too?
we should
You know,
do
I
the
don't know if
Christmas
Field of
one
Glory was a
because
board
it
game
was
that they then
very
eventually made into a
So
like
mean. So
like an
mean.
actual digital game. It is
Yeah,
nice
right,
that it's
I can
digital though,
remember
because then
one
you can
thing.
play with anybody
Mike's done. Yeah.
anywhere in the world at any
Okay.
time.
See what happens.
Well, fair
Although I
weather
don't know if
for
this
now.
game has 2v2s.
Julia,
I
see
think
you
it's just
later.
1v1s.
Bye, I'm waiting for
Now
you.
you can go and disturb Stefano.
I don't know. All right, let's see what happens next.
And Alberto can teach us what's happening on screen. What's up,
Yeah.
Rhodes?
Asterix on the chat asking if we will see a Napoleonic Field of Glory.
Ooh.
Asterix, I don't know. I mean,
Gunpowder.
Napoleonic is. I'm going to answer this question after Paolo's describing Paul's turn.
Okay.
Paul's turn.
So now we are watching Mike advancing in the front and countering the infiltration of the light horses on the left with some troops emerging from the woods. He shot and disrupted the light horses. So now probably Paul will have to retire them to flee with them, otherwise he will lose the unit. On the other side, on the right corner, Mike is trying to attack to achieve the best he can do before losing his units. You see that the top flag has a yellow strips. It means that he is already under one level of morale. Now Paul is moving and
You own
pushing
many of the
forward.
Slytherin games, but you see a
And
lot of
you see that,
must-haves.
with the light horses,
Yeah,
he's
Slytherin's
pushing
got a lot
the
of good
light
games
horses to
out
flee,
and a lot of good games
but the light
coming.
horses, stopped in front
Just
of
to take a
the
look.
wood,
That's
and
why I
it's
keep
not
covering
direct
everything from
to
Slytherin,
what
because
made
it's
it.
like
Two
they
level
make almost
of
everything,
morale
and it's
in a
somewhat
single fight,
interesting
so that unit is
to
going
me.
to be lost.
Field
You
of
will see on the
Glory,
top left,
Masters of
the
Magic.
two
They worked on a Warhammer game called
lights,
Battle
so
Sector.
now,
They're going to publish
full,
Broken Arrow and
and as
Stargate,
soon as the units will
Terminator,
begin
Headquarters World War
be
II,
broken, to lose,
Field of Glory Kingdoms,
and flee the
which is coming
field,
soon.
they will begin to move
This is
towards
the actual
the
upcoming
50%
soon game.
the center of the line.
That may have been what we were looking at
For
earlier.
the rest, the center line
Oh,
shooting
this
on
is
the
what we were
center,
looking at the
waiting
start of the
for
stream.
Mike to emerge, because
So they
probably
announced a brand new
absolutely, Paul
Field
is
of
not
Glory game
permitting,
called Field of
to-
Glory
to
Kingdoms.
fight inside the woods on Mike's
Looks like it takes
terms.
place in Egypt as
While on
well.
the right, we have seen that Paul is getting the upper hand on the
So
electricity. This is
basically,
not,
Field of Glory
something that will
Empires,
make him
but
win the
modernized
game,
for Field of
because,
Glory
probably
Kingdoms.
Mike
Coming
is
soon.
going to lose less than
Nice.
10% of the units on the right.
Is the game still free? I can only wish list it. Yeah, the link should be free. Field.
Get a better score. You see that Paul is
Yep, Field of
moving
Glory 2 is free,
tactically
according to
in the
Steam.
bowman, just one square ahead, just to shoot, just to be exactly in range to shoot on the heavy infantry. From
Politics,
Mike,
religion,
because
war.
he doesn't want
Yeah.
to get too close.
Nice.
Otherwise, Mike
So that's
start,
another one that they announced during this event, more than likely.
This is,
Or
worst
if they didn't
enemy
announce it, they
for bowmen
probably
in
showcased
medieval
some of
times.
it and
At the
talked a
same
little bit
time,
more.
there is the line of the bomb that is in the front, and just behind, less than 3 squares away, there are the heavy knights from Paul.
But these
This is
guys make a
because
hell of a lot
when
of
the fight
games.
will happen, the infantry will kill probably the bowmen from Paul, and then the heavy cavalry will charge the infantry. So it's again a game of like stones, paper, and scissor, because the best player is the
Yeah,
one
that's cool.
that gives the best opportunity.
So now we have
At the same
medieval,
time, this is
sorry,
a
Field of
game where
War Kingdoms coming.
dice are rolled, even if we don't see them. So nothing is absolute and written in the star. So we will see what happens, even with a bit of luck.
Right, so turn done. Now it's Mike's turn. Pressure's on Mike. One thing I want to do before we move to the next turn, Annie, is just do a bit of a recap of the day.
Just remember that you have to answer for the Napoleonic question.
I will.
Oh,
I'll
yes.
remember that. Yeah.
Fog and other time periods.
Yeah, it's a good general subject, I think. A bit of
Oh
a
my God, you're right.
wrap up of the day. That's what we've seen today.
I just did that right now, Anthony. Thank you for
Academic
reminding me.
discussion,
I don't know why that's a thing on YouTube. Thank you,
University
Anthony.
of Winchester,
I don't know why they-
you know, in general.
I don't know why they put that in there.
You know, Middle Ages in modern games discussion. What I found interesting is, and it's always been an interesting, fascinating question for game designing and producing, making games, is how much you can push realism in these games, and when you start to lose the entertainment value of the games.
Okay. One thing I want to see before we get any further is I do want to take a look at Field of Glory Kingdoms, since this is kind of the first time I've heard about it. Let's watch the trailer real quick. So this is coming soon. Slytherin is working on this one. So TBD. Was this the trailer we saw a little bit ago? I thought that was for Field of Glory Medieval. This must have been what we saw before, but I didn't realize it was new. So this takes place around medieval nations. So this is a combination of Field of Glory Empires and Field of Glory Medieval? So they're taking empires from long ago, Field of Glory Medieval, which is new, and expanding upon that with Field of Glory Kingdoms. I'm not sure, but I hope this is going to have both the map combat and the, like here, planning out all your moves and building your kingdom, doing things like not sabotage, but like espionage, spying, espionage, building your dynasty, and then I want to do some war. Got your Byzantine Empire here, nice. Georgia, wow, they got the United States in the game too, guys. Wow, amazing. Cool. And nice to see some of the kingdoms of North Africa. Byzantine, and then look, was that English? No, France. Oh yeah, probably multiple campaigns in this one too that take place over. This is taking place in 1054. So since it did say medieval, it's probably going to go from the end of the Viking era to the beginning of the. I don't know. You could probably play it maybe up until the 12 or the 1300s or something. It's like Crusader Kings 3 with troop battles. Maybe. I mean, I don't actually see any sort of combat here, but it looks like 375 factions, 325 units, 600 buildings. They said 400 before. This says 600. 14 religious religions or heresies, and then also 90 cultural traits, which I think they mentioned before. Yo, Ace! Thanks for the 5, dude. Appreciate your support, man. So yeah, it looks like this is, if you like Civilization or EU4.
Thanks for doing this, Raptor. You the man. Very enlightening and much appreciated.
Thank you. Then it'll be kind of like this. Nice. So this is TBD, so just take a look. But yeah, Field of Glory 2, out now and free on Steam. Use the link at the top of the chat. It'll be free, I hear, for the week, but that could be like, I don't know if that means Friday or Sunday or the next couple of days. Who knows? But yeah, Slytherin makes a ton of stuff, dude. Warhammer stuff. They're making stuff for, well, the new Broken Arrow, then the new Terminator RTS. I'm going to be covering a lot more Slytherin games for sure. They're also working on one called Modern Naval Warfare, but I need to see more of that one. I want to see what they come up with. But they make a ton of cool games. A lot of strategy games, either turn-based or RTS. So that's cool to see. All right, so if you want to see more of Field of Glory, I do have gameplay of Field of Glory 2 and Field of Glory Medieval on the channel. And then some more DLCs for Field of Glory Medieval on the channel, as well as some stuff for Egypt. There's also a complete edition for Field of Glory 2 Medieval, and a complete edition for Field of Glory 2 with Field of Glory Kingdoms coming sometime soon. But a very good takeaway is that Field of Glory 2 is free for everybody. So we'll watch the trailer for that, and we'll call it a day. So this is the free game. That's out now. Damn. Yeah, Kingdoms is coming soon, but we don't know when. But everything else, Field of Glory, is out. And this game is free. This one here. Oh, damn, war elephants, bro. Hell yeah, brother. I think these maps, too, I think the maps in which you do combat are kind of, like, procedurally generated. Like, I think they're completely random. So, like, all these walls and hills and things, I think, are completely random. They're based on where, of course, you fight. Like, if you're in Africa, it's going to be, you know, more sand. If you're in, like, France, it's going to be lots of trees and stuff like that. And fields and whatnot. But cool. Oh, and almost 1,000 very positive reviews, so that's good. Very nice. All right, guys, I got to get out of here to get ready for some other streams for today and other videos for today, too. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. We'll have a video go live in just a little bit on the channel. So thanks to all you guys for watching. Again, you guys can follow Slytherin on Twitch. On their Twitch channel, you can follow Slytherin, or on YouTube as well. Make sure you do that, because I'm telling you guys, if you're not as interested in Field of Glory, they've got a lot of other cool stuff coming. But Field of Glory, for it being free, might be the gateway drug to get you into turn-based warfare games. And definitely keep an eye on Field of Glory 2 Kingdoms coming soon. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you again to Slytherin for sponsoring today's video. You guys can check the link in the description if you're watching this as a VOD, and I'll drop it in the comment section too when I get a chance. Otherwise, just go to Steam and type in Field of Glory 2. Should be free for about a week, and always check out all the stuff going on Slytherin. So thank you very much, everybody, for watching. They have their stream going pretty much all day today, so they got fans from all over the world making miniatures and models and stuff, and they've also got a tournament going on, so if you want to continue to watch the stream, go right ahead. Tons of stuff to keep an eye on and get enthralled in. And damn it, I want those posters up there. All right, guys, I'll see you all in a bit for our next stream. Thanks again for watching. Hope you're all having a great day, and I'll see you in a bit. Thank you very much.